everyone. This is Bruce,
And Cindy.
and we are Ocean to Ocean Travel. Welcome back to our channel. Cindy is not on the screen very often, but I have convinced her to come and do this video with me, and we're trying to convince her to get on screen more often, so you guys got to help me with that. But right now, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss our Alaska cruise that we just got off of in August. We're going to kind of give a review of the different items and also the differences between an Alaskan cruise and a Caribbean cruise in case you're thinking about going on an Alaskan cruise. We have about 7 items that we're going to cover, so we're going to cover them right now.
Well, the first thing we thought noticed some differences was the embarkation process. So immediately we noticed it was a bit older crowd.
It really was. The crowd, when we go on the Caribbean, a lot of the crowd is around the 30s and 40s and stuff, but this crowd definitely was an older crowd of 50s, 60s, and it was definitely a slower paced cruise than the Caribbean is.
So, it's the same thing happens. The only thing there was seemed to be a lot more assistance going on to get people in and out, and the assistance line was pretty the longest I've ever seen it. So, but other than that, it's classic just embarkation stuff, and it went really pretty smooth. I think the second thing we noticed was a real difference with the sail away party, and that was because the rock was closed.
Yeah, the sail away party was it was in the pool area of the covered. So on the Spirit that we were on, the Carnival Spirit, they have an uncovered area and then a covered pool. And the sail away party was in the covered area. That's where their stage is. That's where the screen is to watch movies and everything. And so because of that, it was really humid and hot, and so it was really uncomfortable. I ended up only staying a few minutes, and it was uncomfortable for me. So I actually went outside after that because just was not as comfortable as when you're in the Caribbean when it's open air.
So it still had the same happy vibes going on, good music. You meet your entertainment staff, all of that. So that was still going on. Super positive event. Gets you in the mood, and you start relaxing immediately. So all of that good vibe stuff was still taking place. He's just a cold weather guy. And then,
Yep.
and the next thing we're talking about was we noticed a little bit different in the level of activities going on. So what we mean by that is, there'd be like these crazy shows, these funny love and marriage shows, and that kind of stuff. So some of those are replaced with lectures on the nature and the tours and things like that, which we really loved.
Yeah. So on an Alaskan cruise, unlike the Riviera or the Caribbean, is they have a naturalist on the cruise ship that's constantly talking over on the loudspeaker about different areas that we're going through, things that you can see, things to look out for. But the naturalist also gives seminars during the cruise, different days for areas that we're going into, the type of wildlife that we may see, and it was very, very interesting during those times.
Yeah, so that with the wildlife announcements going on and directing the passengers to see different things as we're going through, like when you're on a Caribbean cruise, you're going out on the Lido, the music's pumping, people are in the pool, there's hot tub use, there's just lots of activity. On a Alaskan cruise, it's a lower vibe. There's not so many people in the hot tub. There's not this big pumping music going on. There's a lot of in your lounge chair with your binoculars, and you're sailing along and you're enjoying the beauty that you're in. It was really cool. I really loved it.
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, there was no music played outside, and I think part of it is because of the nature and the wildlife, and they don't want to disturb that, and so there just was not as much music. The one thing is that you do want to make sure that you are bringing binoculars with you when you come on this cruise. The good thing, didn't realize it, is that on the cruise ship, they do sell binoculars if you do forget your binoculars, and they're really not badly priced. But if you can, remember to bring your own binoculars, and you might want to bring two, one for each one of you if there's two of you going together, because You want to make sure that you see everything that you can see, and a lot of the wildlife you can't see with the naked eye. You do need those binoculars or zoom lenses to be able to see the wildlife.
So, other than that, that was about it for the differences on the, but it was super relaxing and absolutely gorgeous. The other thing, the food. Now, this is where we kind of don't don't agree on this. I thought there wasn't a whole lot of difference in the menus. On some cruises, you know immediately, oh, we're going to be the dining room most of this cruise, and some the buffet is pretty good. And you're like, okay, the buffet is going to battle for the dining room. But on this one, it was one of those buffets going to battle for the dining room, and I didn't really notice any difference in the menu, even though we're in the middle of salmon country and elk and everything else. Bear, if you want to eat bear. Do we eat bear? Do we have bear? No, we didn't.
No, we
Erase
didn't.
that. He'll edit that out. Anyway, I didn't notice any crazy menu items.
Yeah, I did feel like there was more seafood on this cruise than we have had in the Caribbean. But either way, it was really good. They had their salmon. They had this teriyaki salmon on there that was fantastic. The food on the Spirit was really good. Really didn't have any complaints about the food, whether we ate in the buffet or we ate in the dining room. And of course, I had to get my guy's burger, and it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
So, okay, the last thing I think, or maybe the second to the last thing, was the clothing. So this was the biggest difference. So on a Caribbean cruises or Riviera cruises, you're dressing to undress basically and not be hot, and light and flowy outfits and nothing sticking to you, and you got two swimsuits, and it's all about getting in the water. And here it was all about layers and staying warm.
Yeah, so obviously going up to Alaska, the weather is cooler than if you're going to the Caribbean. It really was not that bad though. We didn't have that many rainy days, but you are definitely going to want to pack and dress for layers where you're going to be taking layers off and putting layers back on throughout the day. That is one of the biggest differences between the Caribbean. There was nobody wearing shorts, uh, and you're wearing heavier coats some of the time. So and it also depends on what excursions you're doing, but you are definitely gonna be dressing for cooler weather, bringing warmer clothes because it is going to be cooler. It was still in the upper 50s, low 60s, which isn't bad for us. That's actually really comfortable for us. I'm sure if you're coming from Texas or from the East Coast, that was probably pretty chilly for some of them. We were in August, but it was not bad at all. So you'll just want to remember that you will want to pack for a cooler climate and a lot where you can do layers. So you're not going to bring a lot of heavy stuff, but where you're bringing light to medium stuff, but you can put layers on, then take layers off.
One thing that I was surprised about though was that when in August, when we're going up to the Tracy Arm Fjord, it was below freezing up there in August. So at the mouth of the fjord, it's 50 or so, but up at the top or the head, wherever you turn around, it was under like 31, 30 degrees. And I went, oh, I wasn't prepared for that. So be prepared. Bring a hat and some mittens, and it's cold while you're in there. It's beautiful, but it's cold.
Absolutely. And with the excursions, a lot of the excursions, there's a lot of things to do. Most of them revolve around nature and seeing the area, whether it's the glaciers, and they have a couple of the different ports have gondolas that go up on the side of go to the top of the mountains and stuff, which were a lot of fun. You can book them all through the cruise line, but you can also book that stuff right when you get off the cruise ship at the different ports also. And Cindy, what do you think was your favorite port that we did while we went on this cruise?
Icy Straits, hands down, Icy Straits. I know it just opened up and they're still in the process of getting everything fully built out. But that was a wonderful day. The tribe there has a real presence and a real connection to what's going on, and that's really nice. So you get to connect into the culture that's taking place there. It seemed pristine, and people had a relaxed comfortable, just wander through and enjoy the outdoor exhibits they have out there. The gondolas were so fun. And we went on a hike, and one of the coolest things is he often wears his veterans hat because our daughter bought it for him, and he just likes it. And so they honored him on the tribal guy that was leading the hike, honored him and other veterans. And I thought that was just a really cool thing to do. So that was by far Icy Straits was my favorite port.
Yeah, it was very cool, and I really enjoyed Icy Straits. And the gentleman that he pulled me out of the crowd, gave me a coin, said, I'm an honorary member of their tribe, and that is my home now. So it was a lot of fun. I also really enjoyed Juneau because going to the Mendenhall Glacier was absolutely fantastic. Seeing that glacier and the different blues and just it was stunning. And you watch videos of it, you see pictures, but seeing it in person, it's different. And it looked absolutely fabulous. And I really enjoyed going to the Mendenhall Glacier.
And the naturalist on board really gave you a lot of information. So you knew what you were looking at when you got to the Mendenhall Glacier. And you knew, or you remembered, because I'm sure we all got this in school, on how glaciers are formed and everything. So when you pick up a piece of ice, you're picking up something that's, thousands of years old. So when we saw one, immediately we want to touch that thing. And so it was going to the lectures and going to those type of stuff and really diving into that made the excursions you chose even that much better because you knew what you were looking at, you knew what to look for. So don't skip the lectures on a Alaskan cruise.
Absolutely. And what was really cool is when we'd be going up like into the Tracy Arm Fjord or just, from port to port, the naturalist is always up where the captain's at with his binoculars looking, and he'll let you know, hey, we've got a pod of killer whales coming up on the right, or we've got some humpback whales coming, or we got some porpoises and stuff. So he really helps you in seeing the different types of nature, and if they see something on the shore, they'll let you know so you can enjoy the full experience. And we just really enjoyed that cruise, and we really hope that the information that we've given you guys has helped you to want to book that cruise because we had a fantastic time. Do you have any final thoughts?
We're going to go again. Come with us.
Absolutely, we are. We are looking to book. I don't know if it will be next year, although I am looking at a couple for next year, or if it will be the following year. But we are definitely going to book another Alaskan cruise. And if you want to book that Alaskan cruise or any other cruise, I am a travel advisor, so feel free to contact me. My contact information is down below in the description, and give me a contact, and I can help you with all of your arrangements, your flights, your hotels, if you're staying the day early, and help you to have that wonderful cruise. Also, if you haven't had the opportunity to do it yet, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so every time we upload new content, you will be notified. And every time we go live, we do go live Thursday nights now at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're working on getting Cindy to join me on these lives. So, but join us every Thursday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, or 8 p.m. East Coast time. Well, we hope that you really enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy travels.
We'll see you out there.